Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Muppet. Welcome back to another Starcraft 2 game where we will be casting Game 3. It's actually the ace match of the semi-final of the very first Hairy Bash, the inaugural Hairy Bash, I suppose you could say. And it is Sage versus Petraeus, both from Root Gaming, which is quite an awesome clan over in the United States. And yes, Probe coming around, getting shot in the ass quite a bit, and Petraeus actually going for a spawning pool before hatch, which we saw him do last game as well. And I've just been noticing this little spinny thing with the icon. I'm starting to think that's actually not some custom map feature, that's actually from Blizzard that they implement that. So I don't know, maybe that's a replay feature. Maybe I'll go back and I'll cast one of my own replays and I'll actually see that icon popping up for me. I really don't know, but I actually did play a really awesome game today. It was like a 2v2 versus AI, and it was insane. So I definitely want to cast that, and so we'll see if that little clan icon pops up. But Petraeus, man, doing a well, this little guy anyway doing a phenomenal job. But he stopped controlling it for a second, and it just sort of waddled its way outside of the hatchery zone for half a second, which gave Petraeus enough time to get that hatchery down. So fantastic job there. But Sage as well, going for a phenomenally fast Nexus, definitely before gates. It's about as fast as you can go. And yes, of course, Petraeus does know about that because that Overlord somehow got over here that fast. It's absolutely insane. But yes, man, really insane. I'm just gonna pull this window up just to make sure. I've actually got 3 monitors, but I think I need more. Actually, no, I don't need more. I just need to rearrange my windows a little bit better because I'm not using the right one for anything. But yes, definitely, this probe is probably going to die. He's going to have a scout though. He's basically scouting for a third base. Does not see one over there, and probably going to try and run around the long way to maybe scout this. I don't know, but here we go. The drone coming down, going for the safe third. This is definitely a safe third because it's even further away from the Protoss main base than the Zerg main is, and you've got to go through this sort of area, or at least down this sort of ramp, which means you're still going to go past this area, which is where the Zerg usually marshal their forces up, whereas this one, you can get to this one a lot easier if you're the Protoss player. So here we go, the probe running all the way back, gonna get scared off, using the mineral trick to of course go straight through the Zealots. But very nice stuff there. And one single Ling basically gets up. Did he see the excuse me. Did he see the Stargate? That is the actual question, I suppose. So if we go over here, he saw something coming up. I don't know if he knows it's a Stargate. You've got to actually click on those buildings, and then yeah. Then once you click on them, you actually know what they are. But yeah, it's a question of, did he click on it when he was up there? I'm really not sure, because the Ling only survived like 2 or 3 seconds, and then it was dead and it lost all vision. So it's interesting. It's very interesting. Third base coming down. We haven't seen any spore crawlers coming up, so I don't know that he saw it. I guess we can probably assume that he didn't see it, simply because there's no spore crawlers coming up. But Sage going for a fast, fast Oracle, and that. No, here we go. A couple of spore crawlers coming up now, so he's definitely going for something. He definitely needs another one down there, but I assume at some point he will be getting it. Of course, minerals are very hard to come by in the first 10 minutes, so you don't want to be just throwing spores everywhere if you don't absolutely need to. So we will see. We'll see how good this Oracle does anyway. Now, follow mode has been half broken for like the last few days, so I really don't know. Oh, actually going straight for the Queen. Needs some backup, needs some help transfusing this. Transfuse costs a lot though, and that Queen does go down. Bunch of Lings coming out, going for the Cyber Core, but yeah, they're not going to get that down for a great many years. And this guy actually goes down. Does only taken out 1 Queen so far. Must have been flying over the Spore Crawler when the Spore Crawler came up and took a ton of damage. So this guy is just going to be sitting back. The Lings know it's there. Now the Oracle coming in. The Spore Crawler is turned around for a sec, was about to shoot, but the Oracle is just like, nah, you know what, I'm just passing through. I'm not actually going to stick around. So, yes, very, very interesting. But the Lings definitely know where the Oracles are, and the Oracles definitely know where the Lings are. So, Petraeus probably very happy to see that there is no third base down there. No third base down here either. So, yeah, he's got to be happy that he's still one base ahead. And going down with the Roaches, going down with the Evolution Chamber. And we're going to be seeing some Roach pressure put out here. And the Oracles could potentially go for the Roaches. But I don't know if that's a really, really fantastic sort of idea. Because, of course, they're wasting their attack. They could be using it on workers. Here we go, though. A lot of Zealots coming down for Sage. And the Queens are going to have to go nuts here. But this Queen is going to be taken out. And the Oracles are indeed going for the Roaches, and with the Oracles on the Roaches, it's going to be very hard for the Roaches to do their job against the Zealots, but they're still having a crack. And it looks like eventually these Zealots are going to get wiped out, but the Roaches taking so much damage from the Oracles. When the hell do they run out of energy? I simply do not know, but I think they're probably out around now. And Petraeus winning that battle. Did have to sacrifice a lot of Roaches, but thankfully he did not have to sacrifice a lot of workers to make that happen. So, yeah. Definitely need a drink. Alright, good stuff going on here. Roaches taking out the pylon. That was excellent. The Oracle's still going in. So this one's got 3 kills, this one's got 5 kills. We'll see if they can find any sweet spots for taking out workers. There's a beautiful sweet spot down there. But they have to be pretty quick. Yeah, they're going for it. Yes, there we go. And Petraeus realizes that he needs to be getting a Spore Crawl up there. But I think, yeah, there we go. Workers, ton of workers coming back. The Spore Crawler coming back as well. Don't tell me he's moving in between bases or something like that. But a bunch of workers going down. This one's got 14 kills. And this one has 4 kills. So extremely awesome. The worker numbers for Petraeus still really, really high, and it looks like these Roaches actually went down. Killed a couple of things here, but with a couple of Void Rays, keeping watch, and with some Force Fields as well. Not really too much that Petraeus can do about that. So, yeah, the Roaches, I mean, they're doing okay, but there's a lot of things that they're having trouble dealing with. And now that he's seen the Void Rays are out on the field, Petraeus is going to have to think of something else. Instantly, we do have some Hydralisks coming out. And they should be okay, but of course he's got to do the right thing against the Void Rays, because we have seen Void Rays own Hydralisk before, and you've got to basically have the right sort of Hydralisk, the right sort of group, the right sort of attack to really, really deal with the Void Rays. Because if you just throw a Hydralisk army against Void Rays, it can turn out very, very badly. It's not just an automatic win by any stretch of the imagination. So here we go. Overseer coming on in. Bunch of Stalkers instantly warped in to take it out, and I don't think that guy's going to get away. Oracle's coming straight in, runs straight into a Spore Crawler, and they're getting pretty low on health right here. We've got the main army for Petraeus coming in. I don't know if they're going to go for that third base. Looks like maybe they are. Force Fields are going to keep them away though. Bunch of Stalkers out in the middle of nowhere might get taken out, but they run for a bit of safety, and oh, don't go up that ramp. There's 2 Immortals up there. You are going to get owned, and Force Field's coming down straight away. And this small force does get absolutely decimated. So Sage on the top ground has definitely got the advantage in this matchup, and Petraeus is not going to win by running up that ramp, because that is just bad news. So he's going for a Spire, realizes he needs some sort of air superiority in here, or at least some sort of air, so he can get some higher ground vision, so he can actually see what he's going up against, because just running around on the low ground with no high ground vision is just a bad idea. So we'll see exactly how that goes, exactly what sort of units he's going to produce. Mutas would not be a bad idea, considering he knows he's going up against Void Rays. Corruptors, nah, the Void Rays kind of own them, so I'm not so sure about the Corruptors, but Mutas definitely not a bad idea at all. And yes, what can he be thinking of right now? Ling's going in, they see the main army coming out, and Sage has a huge army with pretty much everything you'd ever want in a huge army. Maybe a couple of Tempests to even it out, but he's got Immortals, he's got Colossus, he's got Void Rays, he's got Sentries, he's got a Changeling. Oh, great job there by Petraeus. Very, very nice. And this is bad. He's going to get flanked. He needs to get out of there. trying to get out of there. Half of his force going in, the other half running away. Not a bad move. These guys can stay ahead of the army. They do have a little bit of time to do some damage. Going to try and take out some workers. They didn't really get any of these major important buildings. The Lings just standing there, not doing anything. I think they're on hold position to take out the workers, but they are going to get owned without really doing all that much. Some units actually got up to the top of the ramp and maybe did a little bit of a scout, but that's about it. We do have a bunch of mutas coming out, so we do have 14 so far, 6 more coming out, as well as a couple of corruptors. And this may be exactly what Petraeus needs to turn this game around. So here we go, mutas coming in, taking out the Void Rays, no problems. The Colossus and the Immortals, they're just like, oh, we don't know how to attack air, so we're kind of screwed. Petraeus moving in with the ground army, a ton of Lings, a ton of Hydras, just dancing around with those guys, doing a great job. And the mutas really, really are the game changer right here, because Sage just does not have anything to deal with them. He's got a bunch of Stalkers, but the Stalkers were all the way over the other side of the map, and the mutas are just running free right now. Going for this pylon, which is powering both Stargates. Ouch! He was going for double Phoenix right there, but that is not going to happen anytime soon. And the muta's going to try and do it here. I don't know if they've got the damage. They're obviously deciding no. They're going to be getting out of there. More Stalkers warping in, but the mutas have definitely done a lot of damage. They've killed a few Colossus. They've killed a few Void Rays. And they've generally turned the game around. Sage is looking very, very scary, but with the introduction of mutas into this game, suddenly Sage is a bit on the back foot, and now he needs to get out a counter for the mutas, and he needs to do it quick, because Petraeus is starting to look scary again. And we haven't seen him looking scary for a little while, but he's definitely looking very, very scary right now. And I don't know, man, Sage is in quite a lot of trouble right here. So here we go, Lings coming in, half of them do die, or a small amount of them do die. We're going to be running in here. A couple more force builders, a lot of Stalkers here, but there's so many mutas, I'm not sure if it's actually going to matter. And here we go, all of the Stalkers seemingly going to die. There's a little gap, and Lings are streaming in. Going to be continuously taking out the Stalkers. The reinforcement army coming back in. I think the Lings are all going to get taken out, but how much damage can the mutas do in the meantime? They're doing a bit. They're taking out some Phoenix, but the Phoenix are starting to get into these sizable numbers, and once they get that range upgrade, I don't know if they're going to get it. I don't know if there's a fleet beacon. It does not appear that there is a fleet beacon on the map. Just double check that again. So without a fleet beacon, without the Phoenix upgrade, they're not going to be completely overwhelming the mutas, but even without their upgrade, they're still pretty decent against this mutalist army. And the mutas coming around this side, which is relatively undefended, could take out a lot of workers here. And Sage not looking like he's very happy with the amount of workers that he has lost to these mutas. He's down 48 under 76. That's a ton of income. And Phoenix, I mean, they're the cheaper side of the Stargate units, but all Stargate units cost a lot. I mean, these still cost 100 gas off the top of my head, and 100 gas is not cheap. Definitely not cheap. So, yeah, we'll have to see how that works, because he does have a ton of Phoenix right now. 9 Phoenix, and 9 Phoenix properly microed can deal with an unlimited amount of mutas, but whether or not they are properly microed is another question. Here we go, turning around, almost get some, but they managed to just get away in the nick of time. And Petraeus just going for whatever worker positions he can possibly get his hands on. Or the Zerg equivalent of hands, whatever the hell he's using. So anyway, mutas continually to go around. He's just 1-2ing these two bases right now. And the speed of the mutas and the Lings really allows him to do that. Even though Petraeus has the shortest distance between the bases, it's quite hard. Look at the Lings coming in. The Phoenix actually lifting up Lings to try and stop them, but it's not helping all that much. Zealots are going down and trying to get some workers, but there we go. The GG actually coming down. The Phoenix, I thought maybe they could deal with the mutas, but he's just lost too much at that point, and he knew he was never going to get back up. Not against that many mutas, obviously. I don't know. I thought maybe he got a microed against the mutas, but the Lings were obviously just too much, and the Corruptors attacking the Phoenix, obviously just too much. So in the end, Sage gave the GG, and Petraeus is moving on to the grand final, and his opponent will be either Pig or Blisk, and that will be coming up in our very next semi-final, which we will be checking out starting tomorrow. So congratulations to Petraeus, And we've got an awesome Zerg in the grand finals already. Will he be facing the other really awesome Zerg in this tournament? Not the only awesome Zerg anyways, but he's the only Zerg left in this tournament now other than Petraeus. Or will he be facing off against another Protoss opponent in Blisk? There'll be 3 Protoss opponents in a row for Petraeus. So yeah, I don't know, but we will be checking it out. Stay tuned for that game. This has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this game.